So I've spoken before about bridging the gap, guys. We need to bridge the gap, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, that you go into a team, and it's very unlikely the person that you want to take the shirt from is going to sit in the change room and say, "Well, here you go, have my shirt, have my place in the change room." You have to fight them for it, not physically fight, but metaphorically fight to get there. We talk about bridging the gap in terms of where you want to be, where you are, where you want to be, and you got to think where you want to be. What is the person doing where you want to be? Are they sitting at home twiddling their thumbs? Are they just going for a jolly up? And I'm all for getting a balance in life for sure, but we've got to plan carefully, plan really meticulously to get every ounce of potential from you and see how far we go. Equally, the person who wants to be where you want to be too, you got to think, what are they doing? Okay, now we move towards Christmas. Great. I'm all for family, friends, have a good time, get the balance. But you got to think to yourself now, am I going to be the type of player that's going to put my feet up, eat, do nothing else, and I'll start next year? Or am I going to be a sort of player that's going to dedicate a proportion of my time to make sure I'm going to hit the ground running in the new year? And that's all the difference. Because I know we're two people of the same ability. You've got the same ability. The one person who works harder and has the better attitude is the one who's going to get there. Now, obviously, you want to get a balance, and it's not all about training with life and get a balanced life. But the key thing is you get out what you put in. So the key things we sort of want to set goals for and make sure that we're very clear, guys, on speed. Can I get faster? Can I get more agile? Can I get more balanced? Can I get more coordinated? Can I improve my reaction time? Can I improve my aerobic endurance? Can I improve my aerobic capacity, anaerobic? Can I improve my strength, power, flexibility, body composition for the players who are senior players? Like when I say body composition, like for example, say you're an adult player. It doesn't matter if you're not an adult player, it's not as relevant. But if you're an adult player, 18, 19, 21, for example, the example is that I use if someone has a body fat composition of 10% and one has 7%, obviously you don't want to get too low. It's not healthy, but within reason, you take 3% of say 70, 80 kilogram, which is about 5, 6 kilogram, or 10, 15 pound, and that's what the person's got to carry more in a game. It's like carrying a backpack of 12 pounds during a game more than the other person, if from the muscle. And obviously if you're young, it doesn't matter, but when you get old, it's the key. It's the body composition test, the speed, how fast can I be? And I'm going to go through the normative data again with you. The normative data is the data that I've collected through reading through the literature, science, as well as being involved in the game from a physical and mental skills point of view for many years, and obviously interviewing many people, sports scientists, and asking questions, and all the experience I've got going forward, and the test obviously that we do, there's more than one way, but these are the ones, the tests I've sort of chosen, the ones that are most the user-friendly ones to do. A lot of you will have done it earlier when you were into lockdown, for example. I said just keep your fitness levels up, and now we have to strike. Now we have to make sure we build on that, which is key. And as I said before, profiling results, the next stage is process and planning, the goal strategy. And I talked about last week, the game changer goal. Now we compartmentalize goals: physical goal, mental goals, tactical goal, technical goal, to support the foundation for the game changer goal. If you want to get in the first team, if you want to play in Europe, if you want to be the player of the year, that's the game changer goal. But underneath that, you're not going to do that by doing nothing. You have to put the action in, and these are the variables, physical variable to be the best you can be, to bridge the gap. That's the sort of key. We want to bridge the gap to where you want to be. The person sitting in the change room, you can imagine sitting there the number of the shirt you want to be there, but you got to think, and we said earlier in the program, that there's many, many thousands, if not millions, who want to be there too. So you ask yourself, well, why not me? And you think big, and then you aim for the moon, and obviously see where you end up. The stars, depending on where you end up, just be the best you can be, which is key. So that's the key point. So I'm going to bring up some data for you going forward, and some really good tests. You might have your own test that you do already anyway, which is fine. You can integrate it. Not a problem with that. But this is sort of the key. Is some data and some tests to cover those components of football for us, because obviously the goal is for you to be the best you can be, which is what we want. We want you to fulfill your potential and to be the best you can be. And the big variable that's going to help you, the game changer goal, is going to be physically, because you make better decisions when you're physically strong. You can play for 95 minutes, 120 minutes, whatever it is, and then do a penalty shootout. So all the things you can do better physically. Now, we're not training you just as athletes because you're footballers first, but to be able to be the best you can be, the fitness variable is a huge component. And that's one we can all improve. That's one we can all be. And we've mentioned before, you go to a club, the last thing you want to do, irrespective of how good you are technically, tactically, try and build your fitness at the club. You need to go into the club as fit as you possibly can be, which is sort of key. So we've got normative data now that sort of I've collected through looking at literature, doing interviews, my own experience of working with many, many players over many years. And we'll look at that. And then I'm going to email that to you. And then you speak to the fitness people and say, okay, these are some ideas. Can we run these? For those of you doing it already, can we improve these areas? And that's going to make me a better footballer, which is sort of key, which is what we want.